The Jungian, daily. I caught myself agreeing with my ex-boyfriend last week, and it made my skin crawl. Not literally agreeing with him. We haven't spoken in 2 years. But I was sitting in the break room at the marina where I work, watching my co-worker Jake complain about the new safety protocols, and suddenly I heard Damien's voice in my head saying exactly what I was thinking. This guy's being dramatic. Just follow the rules and do your job. The weird part? When Damien and I were together, I used to roll my eyes at comments like that. I'd call him cold, too logical, incapable of understanding people's feelings. Now, here I was, 8 months into managing dock rentals and boat maintenance, thinking the exact same way. It hit me while I was hosing down the docks that afternoon. The salt spray catching the late sun, the rhythmic sound of water hitting weathered wood always helps me think. I realized I'd been having these moments more and more, sudden flashes where I'd think something decisive, practical, almost harsh, and feel surprised by my own thoughts. Like when my sister called crying about her job again, and instead of my usual sympathetic listening, part of me wanted to say, either quit or stop complaining. Or when my neighbor asked me to watch her kids for the third time this month, and I actually said no instead of sacrificing my Saturday plans. The marina job has done this to me, I think. When you're responsible for million-dollar boats and people's safety on the water, you can't mess around with feelings and maybes. You check the weather, you follow protocols, you make decisions. Period. But it's more than just work. I've been lifting weights again, something I did in high school before I decided it wasn't feminine enough. I've been speaking up in meetings instead of nodding along. Last month, I actually argued with my dad about politics instead of changing the subject like I usually do. My friend Carmen noticed it too. You're different, she said over dinner last week. More, I don't know, direct? It's not bad, just different from the Sage I knew in college. She was right. The college version of me would have taken Jake's complaints seriously, maybe even joined in. That Sage was all about harmony, understanding everyone's perspective, keeping the peace. This version of me sees Jake whining about having to wear a life jacket and thinks, grow up. The strangest part is how natural it feels now, like I've been carrying around this other voice my whole life, but never let it speak. All those years, I criticized Damien for being too logical, too quick to judge, too unwilling to coddle people's emotions. Maybe I was actually criticizing something I recognized but couldn't accept in myself. I remember one fight we had where he said I was performing softness instead of just being myself. I was furious. But sitting here now, watching the sunset over the harbor, I wonder if he saw something I couldn't. It's not that I've become heartless. I still cry at dog videos and worry about my friends. But there's this new inner voice that sounds suspiciously like every practical, no-nonsense man I've ever known. My grandfather who built his own house, my high school coach who pushed us to our limits, even Damien with his infuriating ability to cut through emotional noise and see what needed to be done. Maybe this is what growing up actually looks like, not just becoming more yourself, but discovering all the selves you've been carrying around. The soft, nurturing parts I've always owned, and these sharper, more decisive parts I've been afraid to claim. I still don't want to call Damien and tell him he was right about anything, but I'm starting to think the voice in my head that sounds like him might actually be mine, The harbor is getting dark now, and I need to lock up. Tomorrow there will be more boats to check, more decisions to make, more moments where I'll have to choose between keeping everyone happy and doing what's right. I think I'm finally okay with disappointing people.